welcome to another video. In this video I'm gonna explain how to arrange fractions, and the second thing we're gonna do in this video is to explain some mistakes you have making in the first quiz. So let's start. We want to arrange in an ascending order. We have three kinds of questions in the arrangement. First, you have to arrange. When arranging the fraction, you have to make the denominators the same, like the first examples. All the denominators are the same, so this kind of fractions are ready to be arranged. And the second type is to make the numerators the same. So if I notice that the numerators are the same, I can arrange them also in ascending or descending order. And the third type of fractions, if they have a different denominators and numerators, we're gonna make a working out. So in the first two types, you can arrange the fraction directly, so the order will be by arranging this fraction from the smallest to the greatest. I will start with the smallest one, which is 5/12. Then 7/12. Then 10/12. And the last one is 13/12. So if you have fractions with the same denominator, you just gonna arrange them from the smallest to the greatest according to the value of each fraction. The second type, when you have the same numerator, so all the numerators here are 1, so it's easy to be arranged directly. But when arranging fractions with same numerator, you're gonna change the order of arrangement. Instead of arranging them ascending, you can easily arrange them in descending order, because the more value of the denominator, the less value of the fraction. So to arrange them, the order will be as ascending order. So the greatest one is 1/9. This is the smallest fraction because 9 is the biggest denominator, so this is the smallest fraction. As we said before, when you divide the pie or the pizza to more than a part, the parts will become smaller. So the smallest fraction is 1/9. So I'm gonna start with 1/9, then 1/7, then 1/4, and the last one is 1/3. I just change the arrangement from ascending to descending to not be confused when arranging this in an ascending order. The third type of fractions, when you have a different numerators and denominators. So the numerators here and denominators are different, so you have to make first all the fractions with same denominator. So first, you're gonna make working out. In this step, I'm gonna make all the fractions with same denominator. I have to look to all the denominators that I have. We have a denominator 2 and 4 and 8. Can the smaller denominators be like the bigger denominator here? Can 2 and 4 becomes 8? Yes, this 2 can becomes 8 by multiplying it by 4 down and up. And this 4 can be 8 by multiplying it by 2 down and up. So the working out is to make the new fractions. So 1/4 is 4 over 2/4 is 8. So 1/2 is the same fraction, 4/8. And 1/4 gonna be 2/8. And the last one is 3/8. So the working out is just to make these fractions be ready to be arranged by making them have the same denominators. Then the second step is to order the fractions. The smallest fraction here is 2 over 8, which was 1 over 4. So I'm gonna write this fraction first. 2 over 8, which was 1 over 4. Then the second fraction is 3 over 8, which was the same, 3 over 8. And the third fraction is 4 over 8, which was 1 over 2 or half. So we will write half. Another example. Here we have some fractions, and we have noticed that all the fractions not having the same numerator or the same denominator, so we're gonna do a working out. And the working out means here to make all the fractions having the same denominator. So let's look to the denominators. We have a denominator 12 and 6 and 8 and 3. So let's ask, can the smaller denominators be like the bigger denominator 12? 6 can be 12 and 3 can be 12. 6 can be 12 if multiplied by 2, and 3 can be 12 by multiplying by 4. But 8 cannot be 12 because there is no number to be multiplied by 8, so it's gonna be 12. So I'm gonna think for another number bigger than 12. What about 24? Why I am thinking about 24? So if 12 is not working, I can multiply this 12 by 2, so it will be 24. So I'm thinking in this way, the bigger denominator is not gonna work for all the other denominators, so I'm gonna multiply it by 2. If it's gonna work, it's okay. If it is not, I will multiply it by 3 and try. So 6 can be 24, yes, by multiplying it by 4. 8 can be 24, yes, by multiplying it by 3. 3 can be 24, yes, by multiplying it by by 8. So 5 over 6 to be 24, I'm gonna multiply this 6 by 4 down and up. 8 to be 24, I will multiply it by 3 down and by 3 up. 3 to be 24, I will multiply this by 8 down and by 8 up. And 12 to be 24, I will multiply it by 2 down and by 2 up. So the working out is to find the value of these fractions so they will have the same denominator. So let's start. 7 by 2 is 14 and the denominator will be 24. Then 5 by 4 is 20, as the denominator here is also 24. 7 by 3 is 21 and the denominator is 24. And the last one, 2 by 8 is 16 and the denominator is 24. Now all the following fractions having the same denominator, we are ready to make the order. And the order will be in an ascending order. The smallest fraction is 14 over 24, which was 7 over 12. So first we're gonna write 7 over 12. And the second one is 16 over 24, which was 2 over 3. Then the next one is 20 over 24, which was 5 over 6. And the last one is 21 over 24, which was 7 over 8. We have 3 over 5, 2 over 3, 7 over 15. And all the denominators are not the same. So first I'm gonna make a working out by making all these fractions having the same denominator. So let's ask, can 5 and 3, the smaller denominators, be like the big denominator 15? Yes, we can make this 15 by multiplying by 3 down and by 3 up. This 3 can be 15 by multiplying it by 5 down and by 5 up. So in the working out, the new fractions will be 3 by 3 is 9, 5 by 3 is 15, 2 by 5 is 10, 3 by 5 is 15, and the last one is 7 over 15. We are ready to make the order, and the order will be, the smallest fraction here is 9 over 15, which was 3 over 5. Then 7 over 15, it's the same. Then 10 over 15, which was 2 over 3. Next question. These two questions is much more difficult than the previous one, so just concentrate with me. All the fractions not having the same denominator, so we're gonna making a working out by making all these denominators the same. So the denominators that we have are 3, 9, 12, and 36. So the biggest one is 36, so let's ask, can the smaller denominators here be 36? This 3 can be 36. We can do a draft like this, 36 divided by 3 to get the answer of this multiplication. 3 divided 3 is 1. And by subtracting, we got 0. The following number is 6. 6 divided 3 is 2. And by subtracting, we got 0. So the answer is 12. Yes, this 3 can be 36 if multiplied by 12. 9, can it be 36? Yes, from the timetable, if we multiply it by 4, it will be 36. 12 can be 36. Yes, 12 can be 36 by multiplying by 3, down and up. So let's make the working out and get the values of the fractions. 3 by 12 is 36, and 2 by 12 is 24. The second one, 8 by 4 is 32, and the denominator will be 36. 3 by 5 is 15, and the denominator is 36, and the last one is 11 over 36. We are ready to order. So the order will be, smallest one is 11 over 36, then we have 15 over 36, which was 5 over 12, then 24 over 36, which was 2 over 3, and the last one is 32 over 36, which was 8 over 9. The last one, we have some mixed fractions with some improper fractions. So to arrange these fractions, you have to make them having the same type of fraction, even if they are improper fractions or a mixed numbers. So as you like, we can solve it by the two ways, but I will just make it by having improper fractions. So the working out is to get these fractions prepared. So first fraction I will get down and multiply. 1 by 2 equal 2, then 2 plus 1 is 3, and the denominator is still 2. Then 1 by 8 equal 8, 8 plus 3 equal 11, and the denominator is still 8. Then we have 31 over 16 and 23 over 24. We just make all the fractions to be improper, then we're gonna make all the denominators the same. The bigger denominator here is 24, and the smaller denominators are 2 and 8 and 16. Let me ask, can the smaller denominators be like the bigger one, which is 24? 2 can be 24 by multiplying it by 12, and 8 can be 24 by multiplying it by 3, but 16 cannot be 24. So I have to find another common denominator for all of these denominators. We can make it by another way, even if you want to double the number 24 until you get a fraction, or you can do it by the least common multiple. So I'm gonna take the bigger denominators, which is 16 and 24, and see what is the common multiple of both of them. So we will divide like we do in the first term, and we have to divide by a prime number, and the prime numbers are 2, 3, 5, 7, 11. So 16 can be divided by what from these numbers? Can be divided by 2, and the answer will be 8. And this 8 also can be divided by 2, and the answer will be 4. And 4 can be divided by 2, and the answer will be 2. And 2 when divided by 2, the answer is 1. 24 also can be divisible by 2, and the answer will be 12. 12 can be divided by 2, and the answer will be 6. And 6 is divisible by 2, and the answer will be 3. And 3 is divisible by 3, and the answer is 1. Then for each number, I'm gonna circle the common numbers. So we have 2 and 2 and another 2, so we have 2 by 2 by 2. Then this 2 and this 3 is not repeated, we're gonna take them 2 and 3 and find the result of this multiplication. 2 by 2 by 2 is 8. 8 by 2 is 16, and 16 when multiplied by 3, the answer will be 3 by 6 is 18, 8 and carry up 1. 3 by 1 is 3, and we have 1, so it's 48. This 48 will be the common denominator for all of these fractions. We can do it by the previous way, which was taking this 24 and double it. 24 by 2 is 48, and this 48, this 2 can be 48 when multiplied by 24. This 8 can be 48 when multiplied by 6, and 16 can be 48 when multiplied by 3, and 24 when multiplied by 2 will be 48. So you can do it either by the previous ways that we mentioned here, or the least common multiple that we mentioned here, but I'm just saying that this way is easier than the least common multiple. So let's make these fractions ready by making the working out. The fractions that we have was 3 over 2 and 11 over 8 and 31 over 16 and 23 over 24. Our goal is to make all the fractions with denominator 48. So this 2 when multiplied by 24, it will be 48, and this 8 when multiplied by 6, it will be 48. 16 by 3 will be 48, and 24 by 2 will be 48. The new fractions will be 3 by 24, 3 by 4 is 12, 2 and carry up 1, 3 by 2 is 6, so we have 72 over 48, then 66 over 48, then 93 over 48, then 2 by 3 is 6, and 2 by 2 is 4 over 48. we are ready to order. The order will be, the smallest one here is 46 over 48, which was 23 over 24. Then the next one will be 66 over 48, which was 11 over 8. Then 72 over 48, which was 3 over 2. Then the last one is 93 over 48, which was 31 over 60. We can write them like the first example here. 1.5 was 3 over 2, so I can cancel this and write 1.5. 1 and 3 over 8, which was 11 over 8, so we can cancel this one and write it as a mixed number, 1 and 3 over 8, and the two other fractions as they was. Okay, so this was how to arrange different types of fractions. The next one was some mistakes that you have done in the first quiz, and all of them are concentrated about knowing the meaning of the place value. So the place value of any number, like this large number here, the point here, this is called the decimal point, and the number before the point will always be the unit digit. So the unit is always before the decimal point. After unit is 10, 100, and 1000, and the other side contains the same, but here is, instead of 10, it's called tenth, apart from 10. Instead of 100, it is called hundredth, and instead of 1000, it is called thousandth. It can be mentioned by another way. I can set approximate to the nearest tenth and write it like 1 over 10. Approximate to the nearest tenth and write it like 0.1. Approximate to the nearest tenth, or I can write it the first decimal place. This is the first decimal place. And the same in hundredths. I can say it 1 over 100 because it's a part of 100, or 0.01, or the second decimal place. The thousandth, we can write it 1 over 1000, or 0.001, or the third decimal place. We can also write 10 or approximate to the nearest 10 in numbers, 100, or in digits like 100 to the nearest thousand, or I can write 1000. So the most common mistakes was in these three questions. He says this number is approximated to this number, but we approximate to the nearest what? I noticed that 2 is still 2, and 5 is still 5, and 1 is still 1. But this 0 is changed into 1. So what makes this 0 increased by 1? It is the following digit. So we approximate to the circle digit, which is, here is unit 10, 100. So we approximate to the nearest 100, or you can write it in letters 100. Okay? If I ask you to write 6,000th added to 400th, so the thousandth digit is the third decimal place, and the 100th digit is the second decimal place. So you have a decimal point, and here is 1, 2, 3. This is the 3 decimal places that you have taken. I'm gonna write 6 in the thousandth digit or in the third decimal place, so this 6 will be written here, and I will write 4 in the hundredth or in the second decimal place. The second one here is 4, and I didn't mention any other places, so you can fill it with 0. So 6,000th added to 400th is gonna be 0.046. If I ask you to write this number as a decimal, you just write the numerator 7, then how many zeros here? We have 2 zeros, so the decimal point will move among 2 numbers. Here is 1, then 2. There is no numbers, I will fill it with 0. So the decimal point moved among 2 digits because we have 2 zeros. Then we're gonna put a decimal point. Then there is 9 waiting for us. I'm gonna write here 9. So the answer is 9.07. So our video today is finished. I want you to get the link of the next quiz on Telegram, but before you solve, you have to revise on the videos that we have mentioned in the videos group in the Telegram, and see them very carefully to answer the following quiz correctly. Thank you, and see you in another video.